Hello YouTube, and welcome to another general vlog video. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with me in my living room. And sorry about that, I'm reading text again. Let me put my phone up. Um, Boy, a video like this, well, for one, let me start by saying, no offense to anybody on this one, and I'll explain that as I go. And a guy that's new to YouTube channel and trying to get a subscriber base probably shouldn't post a video like this. No, it's not politics. No, it's not religion. I get a lot of questions about, Rick, your divorce was. I call myself Rick. I'm sorry. Let me introduce myself. I'm Rick, and I call myself Rick. So I'm not talking about myself in a third party or third person here. I'm just saying, people will come to me and say, Rick, it's been a year and 8 months since your divorce. Why are you still single? Well, gee, I don't know, but I got a lot of ideas why. First and foremost, I'm a dad. I live a dad lifestyle. I even rock a dad body. And by that I mean I have the little beer belly, even though I don't drink. Okay, it's not a little beer belly. We get it. We know. It's a large beer belly. Yeah, I could insert a joke here, but we won't do it. Family channel, and we'll keep it that way. And quite frankly, I'm not the most handsome man in the room. I'm okay with that. But my problem is for one, my first marriage. Yes, I've been married actually legally 3 times, but the first one don't count. Oh, I hate to do it. Let me explain this. I'm looking at a piece of land, and it's an elderly gentleman that owns it. I know he goes to bed early, so I do want to grab this text real quick. I do apologize. If I was closer to my phone, I'd hit pause. Okay, I made sure that he had a clear title, and I wanted to see if he knew what the zoning was, because it's commercial where he's at, and he's selling the end part of the property, and I wanted to see if it was zoned commercial or residential or storage, or see how it's zoned, and he doesn't know, so he's going to check tomorrow. So anyway, sorry about that. I'll try not to keep doing that, but this is a little important to me. If he was a younger guy and would stay up, and there he is again. That wasn't him, so we're not going to worry about it. Anyways, I'm sure he's going to be going to bed right after the news is over. But, so, back to what I was saying. It's not that I choose to be single, although I'm perfectly fine with a year and 8 months. Man, I've got this. Yeah, I mean, I'm used to living by myself now. My kids and me. And honestly, I feel like that's all I need. But there is something missing. And I've tried. For one, I was talking about marriages. My 2 main marriages one was my kids' or my daughter's, both my girls' mom, and then my boys' mom. I divorced my first wife. I had full custody of my daughters. We're not going to really get into all of that, but she wasn't a bad girl. For one, she was a lot younger than me. I think like 10, 15 years younger than me. Very immature and childish. But then again, I was in my 20s. I didn't really care. We didn't make it. And there was no major reason that we didn't make it other than I moved her out of state because she wanted to. I didn't want to move out of state. she wanted to come up here where I was born and raised because I'd always talked about it. And she said, it sounds a great place. I want to move there. I should have known better. She was only like 18, 19 years old. And I took her away from her family. And she kept, instead of, man, you guys don't really want to know all this. But real quickly, instead of coming to me and say, hey, I want to go see my family, she would just pack up all of her personal belongings and move and go down there. And a week later be back. And that was fine. I knew what was going to happen. I could kind of set my clock by it. She did this about once every 6 months, so a couple times a year. I knew for a fact she'd be back. I knew for a fact she'd be very apologetic about it. It was all fine until we had our first daughter. And then shortly after that, she became pregnant with our second daughter. And now she's not only taken her away from me, she's taken my daughter and my unborn daughter away from me. And I couldn't handle that, so I put a stop to it. Because I knew that that's not a healthy way for children to be raised. And that's not a stable relationship. That's not a stable way to raise children. So I basically walked away from the relationship. I fought, got full custody of my girls. Then my second relationship, well, let's go back to the first. One of the problems that I have is she wouldn't do anything. Now, she did work while she went to college. I put her through college, and then she went to work in the nursing field. But even before that, when she was in college and even before college, you know, she had little jobs like McDonald's or grocery stores or you know, whatever. So she was definitely not lazy as far as work ethics go. But when she come home, that was it. She sat her butt down on the couch and watched TV, and basically until she had to go to bed and get up the next day and go to work. She didn't want, I mean, we lived on the water. She didn't want to take the boat out. She didn't want to go swimming. She didn't want to go, you know, play volleyball out in the yard. She didn't want to go do anything. She wanted to sit in that house on that couch and watch TV. I'm not that type of person. Never have been, never will be. But that wasn't a problem. You know, I just learned to do things on my own. Then my second wife, which is my boys' mother, same way. Now, she wouldn't even work. Well, it was easier for her to stay home and take care of the kids. Cheaper for her to stay home and take care of the kids. But she had no drive in life. No drive to have a job. No drive to do anything. The kids and I, my two daughters, her three kids, and our two kids together, yes, 7 kids total, we would beg her, come on, let's go down to the creek and go swimming. Let's take a golf cart ride. Let's go down to the lake. I bought them a paddle boat because they wanted a paddle boat. Let's go take the paddle boat out. Let's go take the regular boat out. Let's go take the pontoon boat out. Let's go fishing. Let's go swimming. Let's go... She didn't want to do anything. She would sit on the couch once again and read. Or she would lay out in a hammock in the yard and read. She wouldn't help work in flower gardens. She wouldn't help anything. She didn't cook. She didn't clean. I got very resentful towards that. There was a lot of animosity there. It just didn't work. I mean, we made it 12 years. We disagreed on how to raise children. She thinks children should be raised with no rules whatsoever, and I don't go by that. So between that and the resentment and animosity towards her, anyways, we are now divorced. And that leads us up to now. I've been divorced for 1 year and 8 months. But that has been those relationships and one girlfriend in between that was a long-term girlfriend, live-in girlfriend. I have not been single since, oh goodness gracious, probably the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. A lot has changed since then. I go through stuff on a daily basis on trying to meet women that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemies. And we'll get into those. And this is where I'm going to start stepping on a lot of people's toes. And I'm sorry. And I don't mean it personally. And I will explain that. And hopefully you'll be comfortable with that as I go through it. First thing is, being a single guy, where do I go to meet girls? This is questions I'm asking myself. Well, I don't drink, so I don't go to bars. But I could go to a bar and have a Sprite or a 7 Up or a Pepsi or whatever and probably be fine. But then again, what kind of girl am I meeting in a bar? Is she a long-term barfly? Is she a partier? She's probably there to drink. I'm not a drinker. It's hard for a non-drinker to be around a drinker. So I pretty much ruled that out. And go to church, meet women. Then you're going to end up, no offense, I believe in God, I have religion, I have faith, but when you get tied up into churches, a lot of them can be more like a cult, and even if they're not, these people judge you, they're very judgmental. And I know there's a ton of people out there going, we're not like that. But you are. A lot of, maybe you personally are not, but the group as a whole, not talking about Christians, I'm talking about the big time churchgoers. And I might say a cuss word every now and then. And I might not want to go to church every Sunday or every Wednesday. And these people, this is their life. So it's a great life for them. But I have faults. Very few. I'm sorry, that even made me laugh. Jeez. You would think I'm popular the way my phone's blowing up over here. But it's just not my cup of tea. I've tried it. They think they're better than everybody else. They want to judge you for everything that you do. And I'm not into those kind of people. Although I'm kind of being judgy right now. Not saying I'm opposed to that. I would by far rather meet a girl in church than I had in a bar. We'll just leave it at that. So then, I always hear, well, you meet girls at a laundromat. Well, I didn't have a washer and dryer in my place for about the first 6, 7, 8 months. Well, that's wrong. Although then again, doing my laundry at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody there probably didn't help anything. But then you hear, oh, you bump into them at the supermarket. Well, I go shopping all the time, and I've yet to meet a girl at the supermarket. So, what do? All my friends are older, like me, and they don't really do the whole party scene and have a bunch of single girls hanging around. And, we go to a cookout, and everybody there's married. They brought their wife and their kids with them. So that kind of leaves a whole lot out. So I was talking to a friend of mine at the time. He was probably about 10 years older than me. And he met a girl on the internet. He said, that's how you date now. Everything's done on the internet. Well, I guess you got to keep up with times. So I found these dating sites. And I'm not going to name any names, but the first 4 or 5 dating sites I found, I spent like 45 minutes filling out this long survey or whatever it is, your name, your age, what are you looking for, do you do this, do you do that, do you enjoy this, what's your hobbies, what's your blah, 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 blah. All to find out at the end that you see a pretty girl, you try to messenger, and you have to be an upgraded member to do this. $14.99 a week or a month or whatever. And I'm like, I am not paying to date. Where I come from, when you pay for love or pay to date, we have a word for that. But once again, it's a family channel. We won't get into that. And so I finally found one that was basically 100% free. There's are some things that you can't do because you don't pay. And so lo and behold, we're going to go, because I'm already 14 minutes into this rant, 15 minutes, just click 15, and I'm not really getting anywhere. Uh, I really feel bad about ranting like this, but so over the last, I didn't start dating instantly, of course. So let's just say over the last year and 4 months, year and 3 months, whatever it's been, however long it's been since I've been dating, um, I've met a couple dozen girls. You know, personally, I've talked to hundreds, but I personally met a couple dozen girls. It's hard for me to do because of my children. You know, for one, when you have shared parenting, and which we'll hit on here in a minute about the whole shared parenting, it limits me to what I can do. You know, so we'll hit on that here in just a minute. But, you know, if you've got your children, you know, I put in for shared parenting, I wanted my children every other week instead of 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. Because for one, we only live a block or two apart, and I don't think my children should go 2 weeks without seeing their mom. I don't think they should go 2 weeks without seeing their dad. So a week and a week seem to be good. On the same bus route the whole night. Here they catch the bus there, here they catch the bus here. It's like literally 2 minutes later. I'm not going to bring a bunch of girls into my home with my children here. Even though it's one at a time and you think that one could be it. Until you know for a fact, this is my opinion only, I don't want my kids meeting a bunch of girls. That does not look good to my children. Now, my ex, not putting her down. I don't like her. None of us really like our exes, but you know, she's had a ton of guys. They stay with her for weekends. That one lived with them like a couple months after the divorce, maybe even a month after the divorce. I don't know how long it was before he moved in. She moves him in, she moves him out. She lets him stay for several days at a time. You know, and even my boys have questioned me. Does nobody like mom? Why does she keep going through these guys? I don't want my kids to ever feel that way about me. In the last year and 8 months, my boys have only met one girl that I dated. And we dated for, goodness, I would say 3 or 4 months before I even let my boys meet her. And it wasn't just meeting her, it was meeting her and her kids. And we didn't make it. She didn't know what a real relationship was. You know, late 30s, early 40s, had never been married. She just didn't know how to be in a relationship. It's not her fault. She just wasn't raised correctly, quite frankly. I mean, hate to say it, but she just wasn't raised correctly and had never been around a good, solid relationship to see the way that one's supposed to work. When somebody leaves here and you say, text me when you get home so I know you made it okay, you know, they take offense in that. Well, I'm not a child. No, I just want to make sure that you didn't get in a wreck or you didn't have a flat tire or your car didn't break down. I just want to know that you have arrived safe. Then you don't have to say another word to me. My ex was the same way. She was over here after the divorce. Her mom had just passed away. I felt really sorry for her. I was talking to her. She was crying. I happened to look down, and the vehicle that she was driving, the driver's side rear tire was extremely low. And I told her, I said, you know, when you get home, you need to put some air in that. That tire's really low. And she just said, you're not my dad. I don't know how to answer or to respond to something like that. I wasn't trying to be your dad. I'm just telling you have a low tire. You take care of it. I would have told my neighbor that. I would have told you that. I would have told anybody, hey, excuse me, you got a flat tire. Anyways, and that is common now. If I say, Like say this one girl that was my girlfriend and we didn't work out. We did for almost a year, but actually, yeah, just right at a year, on and off. Uh, she lives like 50 miles from here. So when she would leave, I would tell her, I had a great time. Uh, See you next weekend or whenever I was going to see her again, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you text me when you get home so I know you made it okay. And eventually she would start saying, well, what are you trying to do? Keep track of me? No. I don't care if you go to another dude's house. Well, I would care, but, I just want to know that you've arrived safely on your destination going home. It's a me thing. Calling people ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Oh, my God, that's caused me so much trouble since I've been single. I'm not old. Don't call me a ma'am. It has nothing to do with your age. It's a respect thing. I was brought up to say yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. My children are brought up the same way. And, boy, that's been a hard thing to handle. But anyways, I'm limited on when I can meet girls because of my children. And same with my daughters now. I have one daughter that is 19, lives on her own, has a job, out of school, still in college, well, a trade school. I have another daughter that's almost 18. I don't, even these children being adults or close to adults, I don't want them meeting a bunch of girls. I'm sorry, that's just the way that I am. So I am limited on when I can meet people. But I've made do. I've not had any problem. Now let's start talking about the type of people that you meet. Now, for all you that don't know, I live in, I guess it's called Mid-Ohio, Central Ohio. Man. What's up with how much women have changed since the last time I had been into dating? Oh God, and some of the people that I watch, and I'm looking at one right now, the Crockers. I think her name's Jaylene. I know she's covered in tattoos. I know he's covered in tattoos. I know he's got gauged ears. I know he's got a lip ring. Those two are a cute young couple. They belong together. But when you get into my age, and I'm in my 40s, man, when a woman comes at me looking to be interested in me or me be interested in them, and they've got 30 or 40 tattoos, I'm judging, and I shouldn't be. It's just not my cup of tea. I have talked to, I'm making up numbers here because I don't know, let's just say roughly 200 people through dating sites on the internet. Of course, you want pictures, or they have pictures on their profile. Every single one of them are covered. Arms, legs, bodies, even necks, with tattoos. And I'm like, oh, that's hard for me to handle. I have met 2 girls out of all of those that do not have tattoos. One of them there was no chemistry. So tattoos doesn't make chemistry, right? There was no chemistry, and the next one, I haven't quite met her yet. She's local. We've been texting rather. And for her to say I have no tattoos, it was like, wow. That's like a breath of fresh air to me. I'm not down on them. It's just not my thing. I mean, I have a tattoo here that I got when I was a kid. I have another one on my arm I got when I was a teenager. All of these when I was a teenager. This one and this one. I regret them. I wouldn't mind them if they look good, but... And then we've got the whole short hair aspect of the whole thing. I personally am not attracted to short hair. But when you buzz cut it, like we had when we were in the service and stuff, and then to top that off, they want to put a hat on backwards, and then they want to wear camouflage. So here I have this figure in front of me that full of tattoos, wearing camo, wearing a ball cap, and short buzzed hair. That's the dude I go hunting with. Or that's the dude I play horseshoes with, or cornhole, or go fishing with. That, to me, that's the way a guy looks. I'm sorry. I grew up in the 80s, so I know the whole switching back and forth, people looking like that. And I'm so sorry for my parents, because they had to go through me growing up with long hair, and even one time or more than one dyeing my hair blonde. We were 80s rockers. You know, the whole, that was the look, you know, the tight pants, I don't have one on now, but like the Aerosmith or whatever shirts, and, earrings, earring, we only did one. I'm sure there were people like my parents sitting back and thinking, long blonde hair, tight pants, earring, that's the way girls look when they were growing up. So I understand all that, and I'm not downing it. I'm just saying it's not in my timeline. It's not in my genre of women, my time. So I have a hard time with that. And that is the normal. Because all the women in their 40s, 30s or 40s, want to be like all the girls in their teens and 20s that's got all these tattoos. So they, excuse me, they get all this ink to try to be younger, I think. I might be wrong, and I'm going to get a lot of hate comments down below. Give me all the hate comments. Normally I tell you people don't, because my 12-year-old son is the one that checks all the comments, but I'll tell him not to check this one. So I expect hate comments down below. And then the other thing, mind you, I'm not looking for a mother. My mother passed away 10, 12 years ago. I don't need somebody to mother me. But whatever happened to women cleaning house? Whatever happened to women doing gardening? Whatever happened to women that would sew? Whatever happened to women that would take pride in their home? Now, I know it takes two. I'm reverting everything back to my past relationships. Like my last ex didn't work, still wouldn't clean the house, still wouldn't take care of the yard, or not the yard, to me that's a man's job. But she wouldn't do flower beds, or she had no interest in life. Now, I don't need a woman to take care of me. But if you're going to sit at home and your man's out there working and he comes home, he won't come home to a dirty house. He don't want to have to come home and clean that house either. Now, if you're both working, I think, and I'm probably, oh gosh, what am I going to get? What were they going to call me? Chauvinistic or whatever? I think if two people are working, the woman should take care of the interior of the house. A man should take care of the exterior of the house, and get together on things like a flower garden or something like that. But a man should not have a woman out there changing tires on her own car. She should know how to do it in case he's never around. But that's his job. But I can bend on all of that stuff. No, I'm not going to go out and work 10, 16-hour days and come home to a woman that's not working and clean anymore. I'm not going to do it. They can just go. But I want a woman to take pride in herself, for one. Take pride in your home. And make a home and a family you can be proud of. And you don't find that anymore. And I'm not out here looking for anybody anymore. I am talking to one girl. But other than that, I'm done. I mean, I am absolutely done because I'm so old-fashioned in my ways. And like I said, I mean no offense to you people. There are women out there that's got tons of tattoos, that dress in the camo, that wear the hats, and have short buzzed haircut. In your own way, you're beautiful. And to a lot of the guys, especially your age and stuff, you're absolutely gorgeous. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying it's not what I'm looking for. It's kind of like a pink car. If I went out looking for a car, I'm going to avoid a pink car because that's not my style. I'm allowed to do that on females also. But it just seems like fads start happening, like all the guys getting their left ear pierced was a fad and everybody had it. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, bracelets or whatever, or the yellow colored bracelets or pink for breast cancer. Those are all fads, trends, traditions. And I think the girls going into the what I call guy mode, all the tattoos, the buzzed haircut, the ball caps, and everything. And yes, I know women have told me, take off your hat, look in it and see if it says men's hat in there. I know it doesn't. I'm just saying what I'm used to. And boy, this rant is really, really, really horrible. And I'm so sorry for this. But basically, where did all the women go? What's a guy got to do to get a girl in this town that suits him? I know they got to be out there. But like I said, I've met a couple dozen. And so far, meeting personally, I've only met one that was halfway natural looking to me. But then again, she was a partier. She drank every weekend, all weekend long. I don't get into that. So between all the drugs going around, all the drinking going around, well, I guess the drinking's always been there. When I grew up, when I was a teenager, most all of my friends were females. Why? Because they weren't the druggies, they weren't the drunks. And now they're as bad as the men, if not worse. I know. In your area it's different, and you're going to comment down below, oh, I've never done any of that, and blah, blah. I'm not accusing you. I'm just speaking in general. Remember, this is general vlog videos. I'm speaking in general. And now I start getting into my age group, which is the 40s. And even some of the girls that I've spoke with are early 50s. And they've all got some type of a problem with their body that everybody, I guess it's opioids. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but pain medicine. Oh no, I don't do drugs. Oh no, I don't do alcohol. And they're sitting here and they're like, well, excuse me, I gotta take this medicine. And I know the doctor said I don't need any more fentanyl, but I can't live without it. And I'm like, that's a drug. I have not met anybody yet that isn't addicted to either prescriptions, alcohol, or street drugs. And it's pretty sad. So therefore, when people come to me and say, Rick, remember, that's what I call myself. Rick, why are you still single, buddy? It's been 1 year and 8 months. That's why. I'm too judgy? I don't know. I'm picky. I want to find what I want to find. Now, before you start wanting to fight me and commenting down below with all the drama, just do me a favor. Stop and think. How many people do you know that drink a lot? How many people do you know that do drugs a lot? And yes, people, let me explain this to you. In my idea, in my world, pot is a drug. Can't tell you how many people have told me, no, I don't do drugs. I don't believe in them. But yet want to come here and sit on my porch and fire up pot, a bowl, or a joint or whatever. No, that's still drugs. And you're not going to do that around me and my children. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. But anyways, how many people do you know that are addicted to painkillers? You're going to be surprised when you stop and think. Now, I know everybody's going to comment down below and say, man, where do you live and what kind of people are you around? It's that way everywhere. Trust me, I have tons of friends that live in Oklahoma, California, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Indiana, Illinois, Idaho. No, actually, they moved from Idaho. Missouri. I have friends that live everywhere. And these are friends that are like me. So we pay attention to stuff like this. And it is everywhere. It is absolutely everywhere. And when you're an anti-drug person like I am, hey, you do what you want. It's your body, your life. I choose not to. And also, do I choose not to? I also choose not to be around people that do. So, that's my choice, my decision. It's my body. Well, I'm starting to sound like a protester or something. But it's only bothered me since I've become single and trying to find my better half, trying to find my other half, trying to fill a void. I'm having a hard time doing it. I've met some lovely, lovely, lovely people. They're just not my style. I've met some awesome people. They're just not my style. Everybody out there that's awesome. It's like I made a reference to the Crockers, the Crocker homestead. Those people are sweet as sweet can be. They are made for each other. They're also in a different generation than I am. That's their generation. I wouldn't change her for nothing in the world. She rocks her tattoos, and that's awesome. But when you get into my age group, it's not quite so awesome. And it's not just my age group. I've seen them in the 60s and 70s rocking not one or two tattoos for girls. I'm talking sleeves. Arm sleeves. I'm not sure what those are called. Or leg sleeves, rather. Tramp stamps. Just everything. I don't think I would mind if I met a girl and she had a tattoo. Small, cute, little dainty something or another. It probably wouldn't bother me. But I don't want somebody covered in ink. Not at my age. And it's not that. The girl that I was with for about a year, she had 30 or more tattoos. She was a great, great, great girl. She just didn't know how to be in a relationship. I mean, she even had the nose ring, the lip ring, several earrings up and down the ears in places, I don't know what this is called, dades or whatever, in the middle of your ear. She had them everywhere. She was a great person. She was not a drunk. She was not a druggie. She was a great person. She just didn't know how to be in a relationship. And so, I mean, I have dated girls that look like that, and I was perfectly happy for a time. And I wasn't unhappy because of any of that. I just was unhappy with things that have happened. It wasn't her looks or anything. I wasn't embarrassed to be out in public with her or nothing. I'm not that shallow. I'm just telling you that, gentlemen, if you're in your 40s and you're single and you haven't been single for a long, long, long time, we'll be ready for a change. These girls have changed completely, and man, there's no going back. So you either get used to it, move forward, or you stay single. Rick, Why are you single? That's why. Anyways, I hope I don't lose a bunch of subscribers. I hope maybe I gain some subscribers. Maybe some of you want to subscribe down below. Once you do, you can click bell notifications so you can see. I promise I won't rant like this anymore, or at least not much. And I'm 40 minutes into this, and I feel stupid for doing it, but I'm going to post it because people keep asking, why? That's why. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, an even better tomorrow, and an awesome night. We're getting, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we're getting more rain outside. And I think we've already got like 20 inches within the past few however longs. We definitely didn't need it. Anyways, I'm still my own cameraman. So I got to go up here and poke you in the ear to turn it off. And we'll see you on the next video. And I hope and pray. And please forgive me if I hurt your feelings. I did not mean it. I don't mean this to anybody personally or any one group personally out there. I'm just saying a lot has changed, and I just can't keep up. I don't want to keep up. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.